It's Christmas season here in America, and with it comes a familiar rhythm, a faster pace, more noise, more pressure. Many of us are scurrying, clicking, wrapping, hoping we get it right. So let me start with a simple question. What's the worst Christmas gift you've ever received? Hey friends, it's Skip Linneberg. Welcome back to the Main Thing Podcast. Today we're doing something a little different. No guest, just you and me. And since we're in the heart of the holiday season, I've got a Skip's Quip that's close to my heart. A short story about the worst Christmas gift I ever unwrapped. Settle in and let's begin the story. If you're like me, it was probably something unexpected. Perhaps something odd. Something that didn't quite align with what you were hoping for, or what you had quietly been imagining, or even demanding in your 10-year-old boy heart. That question takes me back to a Christmas I'll never forget. Christmas, 1976. I was 10 years old. The living room felt warm. Tree lights glowing, family gathered close, bowls of striped mints and hardtack candy positioned around the living room. A moment later, my grandfather handed me a gift. It was long, slender, wrapped carefully in festive red and white paper with a ribbon around it. For one brief, hopeful moment, my imagination took off. Was it a fishing rod? A new baseball bat? Maybe a hockey stick? I started peeling back the paper, and there it was. A broom. Plain, bare wood handle, unpainted. The bristles were uneven, irregular, messy. It wasn't like any broom I'd ever seen before. It looked like something to be used for work, not something to be admired. I just stood there, confused. My unwrapped gift, that broom, in my hand. I stood there, completely disappointed. Because 10-year-old boys, they want racing cars, and football helmets, and a G.I. Joe, not a broom. Was I being punished? Had I been a bad boy that year? Was this broom my version of that proverbial lump of coal? The truth is, it was a boy-sized, handmade broom from Pennsylvania Quaker country. Today, yeah, I'd treasure it instantly. Very unique, very cool, but 10-year-old me, not a chance. After all, it was just a broom, and I'm sure I sulked. I'm sure my mother gave me that look, the one that says, hey, shape up, show some gratitude, and I'm sure I tried, unconvincingly, to fake excitement. Long, awkward moments passed. Thankfully, gift opening eventually gave way to dinner. Food has a way of rescuing moments like that, doesn't it? I leaned the broom into the corner of the living room, and I moved on toward the dining room and the food. In the months that followed, my disappointment faded. Not all at once, just gradually. And that broom, it stayed. I still remember today the hook on the center post in the garage where that broom hang. I still today remember the center hook on that post in the garage. That broom stayed around, and I started using it eventually, almost without noticing. I learned how to sweep properly, when to pull on the broom, when to switch sides, when to push the dirt and dust forward. You see, young Skip became a pretty adept sweeper. I swept that garage 500 times. That smooth, cold concrete floor with those cracks and a few oil stains, yeah, that's still etched into my memory banks. The front porch, I swept that too, yeah, and the back deck many, many times, over and over again. And something subtle happened. I became more helpful, more useful, more engaged, more responsible. My parents noticed, perhaps my grandfather noticed too, an occasional observation of his grandson. You see, my grandfather came from a generation that believed work mattered a lot. He was a builder, the kind of man who could fix virtually anything with his hands, and someone who believed character was formed that same way, through work, with our hands. My grandfather didn't explain lessons, he gave them. I imagine his quiet, knowing smile, watching his grandson learn, over time, slowly, the dignity of work, the discipline of caring for what's been entrusted to you, and the pride that comes from doing something well, even when no one's watching. I used that broom until its bristles were worn down to little nubs. Here's the irony. I remember very few Christmas gifts from my childhood, but that broom, I'll never forget it. What I once believed was the worst Christmas gift I ever received turned out to be a gift that helped shape who I became, who I am today. So here's the wisdom I carry, especially at Christmas. If you're giving gifts this season, don't just think about what gets the biggest reaction in the moment. Some gifts aren't meant to impress. They're meant to shape. They don't sparkle right away. They grow quietly over time. So I encourage you to be intentional. Think about giving gifts, selecting gifts that will have lasting impact. And if you're on the receiving end, especially if a gift leaves you confused or disappointed, just pause, hold it gently. Its meaning may not be clear yet. Its value, you see, may still be unfolding. I remember very few gifts from my childhood, but that broom from Christmas 1976, I'll never forget it. Never. Because sometimes the gifts that matter most don't look like gifts at all. Sometimes they just look like brooms. Hey, that's all for now. I hope you'll join us again in a couple weeks for our next episode of the Main Thing Podcast.